You're watching Agenda and we're coming to you right from Raisina Road. This area is full of government offices where I'm imagining there are lots of celebrations happening because the government has just announced that very soon the 7th Pay Commission will be implemented, which means a 23.5% pay hike for all government employees, all pensioners. The government is hoping this will also boost the economy, but not everybody is rah-rah about it. There are lots of groups like the Railway Union, whose representative we have today, who are unhappy. There are also economists and experts who say that this is very, very unfair to other groups. People like farmers, they don't get this kind of a boon at all. So we'll speak to all of them. First, let's just hear how the finance minister described this pay hike.
पे और पेंशन के संबंध में जो रिकमेंडेशंस पे कमीशन की आई हैं, उन रिकमेंडेशंस को बाय एंड लार्ज सरकार ने स्वीकार किया है. दे विल बी इंप्लीमेंटेड विद इफेक्ट फ्रॉम 1st January 2016. And the arrears, since we are towards the end of June, would also be paid in this year.
Okay, before we go to our guests, I just wanted to give some of the salient points of what this pay hike has meant. It's going to affect 10 million government employees, nearly 60 lakh pensioners, starting from the 1st of January 2016. And as I said, 23.5%, which means an additional bill to the taxpayer of 1 lakh crore. So it's quite a substantial bit, and they're saying that's a 0.7% of India's GDP. The new rules also do away with 52 allowances and merge 36 others. Under the new scheme, the maximum salary will be 2.5 lakhs a month for a government employee. The minimum, of course, will be 18,000 rupees a month. Let's just get in the experts over here. We have Devinder Sharma, economist, joining us from Chandigarh. We have Shiv Gopal Mishra, representative of the Railway Union. We also have Prabhat Kumar, a former bureaucrat, and also Lieutenant General Raj Kadyan from the Defence Forces joining us. First of all, I just want to take this. You know, everyone's painted this picture of how everybody is happy, but everybody isn't happy. Tell us why Railway Union employees are not happy.
We are unhappy because after 10 years this pay commission has come. And this pay commission is the worst pay commission ever we had in a central government employee's life.
Why is it the worst?
It is worst because it has given only 14.29% hike. It is wrong that 23.5% hike what is being propagated by the government. It is only 14.29%.
For everyone?
Yeah, for everyone. It is a 14.29% hike. And in 10 years' time,
How
if you
is
want
that
to...
math, sir? How are you saying it's 14%?
It is 14.29%. It is according to calculations. And that is why this has come only 18,000 rupees for a person who has joined any government service today. So he will get only 18,000 rupees. This pay commission has accepted. We are from the JCM staff side. I'm secretary of that. When we given memorandum, they said yes, most scientific method is to accept the Dr. Arkwright Committee formula. But they did not implement it. If we implement Dr. Arkwright Committee formula, scientifically it will come 26,000. So the minimum wage is 18,000, which is minimum so far. All other pay commissions have given. All other pay commissions have given a substantial hike. Last pay commission, 6th pay commission has given 52%. 5th pay commission has given 40%. 35% has given the 3rd pay commission. But this pay commission has given the only 14.29%. And it is unfortunate that in spite of our protest, the government has accepted it.
Okay, so you're giving the other one that this hike is the lowest in the 7 decades.
Lowest.
So it should have been, they're saying it's 23%. So how much should it have been? What should the lowest salary have been instead of 18,000, according to you?
If they would have gone this scientifically for the calculations according to Dr. Arkwright Committee formula, it must have been the 26,000. But suppose if there was some need in reviewing for that formula. We had been agreeing that there should be a very transparent discussion on this issue.
Okay.
We represented according to that to empowered committee, we represented to the government of India.
Okay, sir.
But it is
And I
unfortunate
believe you're also
that
threatening to go on
32
strike.
lakh government employees, they are very unhappy on this report.
Okay, so that's
Disappointed.
one section that is very, very unhappy. We have Lieutenant General Raj Kardian also with us. Sir, tell us why the military is very unhappy with this.
First of all, let me make a general point. This is a 10-yearly exercise of the Pay Commission. Every employee looks forward with great expectations. The government on its side has limitations of the budget and there are competing demands from various other sectors. Employees have their own version. What Mr. Sharma has just said, there is bound to be a comparison with the last Pay Commission. If the last Pay Commission gave a 40% hike while catering for dearness allowance, if this Pay Commission is given only 15 point or 14 point something, obviously it will be taken as a negative. The employees have already given a warning as per the television sticker that they will go on a strike from 11th of July. That is the first point. Now let me come to the defense forces. Defense forces are a non-agitating force. They don't have unions. Their voice is heard through the service chiefs. The service chiefs had made the recommendations to the defense minister for submission to the cabinet secretaries committee. I do not know how much of it is detailed they were to come out. Today only announcement is made, but the feeling is that not all that was recommended by them has been accepted. I would like to point out that the service chiefs are not bargainers. They only recommend what is reasonable, what is good for the morale, motivation and the general well-being of the defense forces. If that
sir,
gets
the
diluted,
problem
then
is-
unfortunately
and so you're
it is
saying
a
that the
big
problem is
negative.
that a secretary of the government of India or a senior police officer will get much more than senior army officers. That's the problem, sir?
The problem is that the service chiefs are not in the decision-making loop. Their voice ultimately is filtered through the bureaucracy of the Minister of Defense. And that is where the problem lies. Their actual version perhaps doesn't reach the decision makers. They did meet the defense minister who gave a very positive response, but I don't think ultimately all that the service chiefs wanted would have been acceptable.
Okay, so Devendra Sharma, when one looks at the reactions on social media, and when we hear a lot of the ministers and people of the government congratulating government employees, saying, and it sounds really big, 23.5% pay hike, even though it comes after 10 years. But we hear the military very unhappy. We hear a substantial chunk of the government employees, the railway officials, very, very unhappy. They're saying it's too little. So put it into perspective for us. Is this okay? Where does it stand from someone from your point of view?
Well, I think whether it is 14.5 or 25 or 23% as the government would claim, I think it is for the employees to handle that. But the bigger issue here is that is the government only responsible for the employees? Are the employees only the important section in the country? What about the other sectors of the society? You know, if you look at the report of the Credit Suisse, I was reading a report of the Credit Suisse, it tells us that it's not the central government employees who are going to benefit from this largesse. It is also the total, state government employees and eventually the PSUs and the college teachers, professors and so on. And they have worked out that this will mean an additional burden of 4.5 to 5 lakh crore every year. And the government has no qualms over it. But the moment you want to raise the minimum support price for wheat and paddy to a respectable figure, the government says it has no money. Now you have 4.5 lakh crore to throw at a section of the society which is only 3.5 crore people. If you look at all the employees in the country, and you are, what about 60 crore farmers in this country who are dying every day? We know it, and the government has no money for that. Nobody is talking about that. I think this is a complete injustice. This is not economics. This is only helping the industry and the employees. That's where the government's mandate finishes. This is very unfortunate, and I think this is no way to jack up the country's economy, because the market economy will collapse if you freeze the pay commissions. You know, let's say if the pay commission was frozen at fifth pay commission report, the market economy would have collapsed by now, because they need more money in the hands of consumers to keep it going, and that is why the government is helping, and the industry is also very helpful. But if you really want to help the country,
yes,
the money should have gone into the hands of the farmers and agriculture workers. Now this is a section which is huge in this country. It has been completely ignored by this government, and even by successive governments for that matter. And one question I want to ask is, if I'm not wrong, I stand corrected, but either it was the 12th pay commission, 12th finance commission, or the 13th finance commission, which has actually suggested there is no need for a pay commission anymore, because you know the DA they get is merged with the basic salary. If the DA is merged with the basic salary, I don't see any purpose in giving this kind of the hike in salaries. But more concerned is, the income, the MSP for farmers goes up by only 3% to 4% a year, whereas the DA itself hike is about 13% a year. Now look at the inequality the government is deliberately creating year after year, and then we say, oh, look at the farmers, they are not doing well, they need to be moved into the cities to become the Hari Mazdoor. Now this is not the kind of economics this country requires.